Well, hello there everyone, welcome back. It's time for another game of Star Realms, and what am I going to do this time? I'm going to play online, of course, as I have since the second episode. I think this time I'm going to play a quick match and be paired with my first available opponent for a real-time game, just so we can have a little bit of randomness going on there, I believe. I don't think it still cares what my preference was for game format. I don't know. We'll see. It is my turn in this game against J, something that Jack EC. I'm not sure which way to say that, so I'm just going to go ahead and go. Play all. I am guessing this is just vanilla. I don't recognize anything from Colony Wars, and I still have not bought anything from Colony Wars yet. So, I see a lot of blob on here, so, ooh, tough call with all these good cards. I'm going to take the trade pod, and hopefully I can pick up at least one of the blob fighters, although my opponent may scoop them both. It would be a little bit disheartening, and there they go. Yep, they scooped them both. Oh, my opponent got some good picks there, so what are we going to do about that? We probably ought to get some bases and some authority gain. Because it's going to be a lot of early damage, guys. That's a lot of early damage. I think a cutter's a pretty good call. Without anything else, I'm just going to go ahead and take an explorer. I'm going to hope I can get up to some big stuff and some bases. And it didn't seem to want to let me do the damage. That was a little bit irksome. Maybe I was just off with my mouse positioning and didn't notice. Anyway. And they are also picking up a couple of explorers because they are down to having very little other options. Imperial Frigate, though, is not a bad card, so I will go ahead and take one of those. Of course, that gives them another Imperial Fighter, which they might be able to faction off with the previous yellow card that they have. Oh, and they get a draw from their Corvette. And, oh, 5 is pretty decent. What did they pick up? The Mech World, ally to all factions. That's a little bit disheartening. Port of Call. Yeah, I have not been going for straight damage, so I think I might pick that up. Oh, wait, no, I've got 7? I've got 7? I'm going to pick up the Mothership then. Get that draw a card action going on. That's what I'm going to do. I don't have any damage currently, but I think I'm going to scrap this Explorer. Probably won't want it by the time I see it. I could pick up another one next turn if I have no other options. I'm going to have 5, 6, 7 again. Probably going... Oh, I'm going to get to draw a card, so I might possibly get into 8, which... Let's see here. Do I get into 8? And yes, I do. Oh, I got a couple draws. I didn't even notice that. Yeah. Let's play all of these. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go into the command ship. That's a pretty big card. Yeah. Would like to have something to do with that one other trade, but what are you going to do? 8 is not too bad for damage for this turn. Go ahead and take that. And what am I going to see from the opponent here? Yeah, they still have their early damage, but I don't know if it's going to be that great if they don't pick up some more. I've got a little bit of life gain. No bases yet. I kept having enough to buy something else that I wanted slightly more. They do have a little bit more damage coming in now. I don't want any of these trade pods, I can tell you that for sure. This is quite the amount of non-purchasing stuff. So, yeah, 2 scouts. I don't know if I particularly want to draw that. I'm just going to go ahead and pick up another explorer because there are a couple other expensive things I'd like to buy. Although, I'm going to probably scrap out every single one of those as I see them at this point. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is enough to pick up the Port of Call or the Royal Redoubt, which... Port of Call at this late stage of the game when I've already got an 8-coster and a 7-coster in my deck. I don't really think I'm rushing for any other expensive stuff. The Blob World would be nice, but it's kind of getting a little bit late to go for that since we're playing back in vanilla again. So guys, I think my best call is probably this. It's some defense and it's some attack. I wish I had more yellow, but I also don't want my opponent picking that particular card up because they have a couple of yellows in their hands, so there you go. No attack that turn, unfortunately, but I am going to get to draw 2 cards this next turn. Of course, my opponent does some draw 2, and I get some discard. Just 1 with that many yellows. Curious. See, they did have the 6, and they would have picked up the readout, which probably would have been bad for me. 2, I don't particularly care to buy right now, so... Ooh. Kind of want to see what I have. What do I have coming up? I could get up to 4 more. 4 more would be 5, would be still not enough for anything particularly great, so let's discard the scout. I mean, what are you gonna do? Draw 2, yeah. Yeah, that's not some great stuff. Oh, what do I want to do with this? 4 is not particularly gonna change the game too much for me, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and get a blob wheel just so if there is still something I want to buy, I can trade it in. Yeah, and now the scrappers come up, which is a little bit, too little too late is what I'm thinking. Next time I see that frigate, I am definitely going to be dumping it. They have to go down 1 card, but it was just a Viper, not a big surprise. They get an extra draw, so they get 2 draw. And they're picking up another trade pod. That's a little odd at this point of the game. I don't think you really want to get that much more resource stuff. I picked up the blob wheel, but you know, at least it's a base. What's this draw going to be? Oh, I'm going to trigger another draw, so that is not too bad. Let's see, with all these guys out, I've got 8, and I'm definitely thinking the blob world. I might be able to use the draw ability, but 5 damage is certainly not bad either. We're getting really late in the game. I don't have anything I can scrap for extra, so I'm going to go ahead and call that quits, and this turn is going to be nice. I'm going to make them discard 2. They're going to make me discard 1 first, but it's a scout, so I don't particularly care. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. And like I said, folks, I'm going to discard that the next time I see it. Unless, is there stuff I don't want to break up here? Not really. 1 blue, 1 green, neither one will faction. So let's go ahead and just get the deck through a little bit faster. And I could actually buy something here for up to 5, but don't really see anything at the 5 mark I want. I'll go ahead and take a missile bot. I don't really need the scrap at this point, but you know, whatever. Doesn't hurt to have a little bit of extra damage since I've got so many cards that don't do any damage. Either way, it likely won't matter because I doubt I will see it again. I'm going to draw 2 this time, and that's what I'm hoping to draw into would be a mothership, blob world. Even Missilebot is not too bad at this point. In fact, even my cutter will do 4 damage if I draw it out with the command ship. This is 6, 11, 12 damage on deck as it is. So yeah, we're not seeing any bases come through, which means... Oh, I just lost 5 of it, but that's still plenty of damage to finish them off. In fact, I'm going to try and go ahead and be nice here and just, as soon as that factions, or plays, not factions, go ahead and do the damage and call that a win. I think my opponent might have been buying a little bit too late in the game. Although, buying stuff that gave trade, that is, a little too late in the game. It was a weird trade row and hard for me to shift back to vanilla after playing some Colony Wars. It is a bit different. It's surprising how much the strategy changes between different setups in this game, even though the rules themselves are all as they were. Anyway, guys, I will see you in the next one, and let me know down below if you like having the music on in the background or if you think it's a distraction. I'm leaning kind of towards distraction, but I wanted to try it out just this once. I thought I turned on Dynamic Starfield too, but I didn't notice it moving. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Or maybe I didn't actually click on it. Click. Maybe I did not actually click on it after all. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed and play some more Star Realms, would ya? Later.